Imagine such a situation in real life. You came to the Mercedes showroom to buy your dream car. The salesman greets you at the door, invites you in. You go in and you tell him, "Oh, I really like Mercedes S-Class. I'd like to buy one in black with a very powerful engine." And the salesman nods and replies you this: "But you know, we only have tires. If you want a Mercedes S-Class, here is the address for the body shop. Here is address for the engine shop, and here is the address for the electronics shop. And there is address here for a gearbox shop. Actually, we don't know where to buy seats for Mercedes, but you will definitely find them somewhere. So, do you want to buy tires, maybe? Or you want your old Mercedes to be fixed, and instead of the service, you receive a set of tools to do it by yourself, not being a mechanic." It does sound absurd, right? Meanwhile, this is exactly how many large organizations operate when it comes to IT. And they think that this is nothing strange about it. In order to change such a sick situation, you must first be aware that it exists. Today, I will show you 3 symptoms that your company is operating like that. There is a platform missing. Even if some team is called a platform, or even if you have a developer portal. This is Advisory Applied, a place where we discuss IT from business value perspective, because platforms are a real business value boosters. Okay, let's go. A first symptom that you buy a car from a showroom in parts I described in the beginning, and I call it a bustle. And how does it look like in IT? Okay, so imagine this. New team joins the organization, or existing team wants to build a new application, new component. And what they hear? They hear that they must contact the administrators for the infrastructure. For Kubernetes clusters and Jenkins instances, they need to go to DevOps teams. For monitoring tools, they need to go to maintenance team. For databases, they need to go to Oracle team. And they need to have a security approval before going to production, and so on and so on. The bustle causes that the team needs to collect and integrates all the tools they need to work on the application. And instead of being provisioned with all the tools necessary, they need to integrate it or build it by themselves. This is one symptom that maybe you are missing a platform because your team is running through the company instead of delivering features to production. Okay, the second example is less obvious because there is no bustle. There is one team that takes care for all of the tools. And often such companies claims that they have a platform, but in fact, it's very far away from what I call a platform. I call this example a nerdosis. A nerdosis in IT happen that even if you have one place from which you obtain all the tools are being provided in a form that you need to have a PhD in order to use it. You need to deeply understand how the tools works. So let's talk about it on an example. Imagine that we have a team who just finished building the application and they want to release this application to the production environment and then expose it to the world. We tell DevOps team this, and what they ask in return is to provide them with IP addresses, and they should use it to issue the app to the developers, or they ask like 100 additional questions about the networking protocols or secrets, or maybe not secrets because it's related to the application, but for example certificates. Or we tell that we want to expose the application to the world and we have like 1,000 questions related to security or application infrastructure, whatever, and that we need to sign everything we say in blood. And in the first case, we just sit and study network addresses. We need to have a PhD in networking. And the second case, the security case, we need to study switches, WAFs, things like that. And the implementation into production, deployment into production, is delayed because we are spending time on answering those very technical, low-level questions. And we are developers. We actually don't know how to answer those questions. And such a delay is a very costly thing. A similar situation to a nerdosis I call a reverse nerdosis. This is a situation where the platform is in fact an ivory tower or simply is not fitting the maturity of the team. It happens often when the platform is done without analysis on what the customers of the platform needs, how they work, what is their maturity. So you have a portal, you have services, everything looks good from platform engineering perspective, you think it looks good, but those platforms are useless for the teams because of the permission model. Permissions are missing. Platform is a bottleneck because self-service provided to the teams is actually rarely used, and what they need a self-service for is not implemented. Or it's slowing down the flow or not covering the technologies which are being used in the company. So platform is simply useless. Luckily, there is a way to avoid it. Well, I've spent 4 years building internal developer platforms, and as a manager of several platforms and advisor to the people who did it for the first time. Recently, I've released an online course on platform engineering for managers. In this course, I provide you with end-to-end guidance how to approach internal developer platform, starting with cognitive load analysis through platform services and architecture design, ending up with success measures, case studies, and selling points so you can convince your organization that platform should be built and should be invested in. Okay, let's go back to the topic. Okay, the last symptom that platform is in fact missing is when the platform team disrupts too much the flow of the other teams. I call it the disruptors simply. Of course, there will be situations where platform team will require some simple action from stream-aligned team. But those situations should be rare, well planned, and require steps which are simplified as much as possible. A situation like this can be also handled by a dedicated enabling team. If something is not disruptive or something cannot be simplified in a way that it will not disrupt the flow of the stream-aligned teams. But the platform in general should not smuggle tasks to the team's backlog because it's adding a cognitive load. It's not removing it. And we have an anti-platform, even if there is a portal or even if there is a dedicated team for DevOps tooling. Okay, so now time to be honest. Is your platform team a true platform? Let me know in a comment below, and we'll see each other very soon. Bye.